Hi, this is Sarah Rich with the State Board of Education. I'm going to present an overview of the Washington Achievement Index. And the purpose of this webinar is really threefold: to provide an orientation to the index, to show you some online tools that will help you understand your school's data and communicate about the data, and give you a few examples of how the index is being used around the state. The background for the index is that in May of 2009, the legislature asked the State Board of Education to create an accountability index that would serve three purposes: to complement or serve as a replacement to the federal AYP system, and we're currently awaiting reauthorization of No Child Left Behind to see what accountability measures will look like under that new reauthorization. Two was to provide data for schools and districts to self-assess their progress, and three, to identify schools with exemplary performance. And we're doing that through the Washington Achievement Award, which I'll talk about in a moment. And I want to give a special thank you to OSPI for the support and the data that they've provided through this partnership. The index is different from AYP in a number of deliberate ways. The purpose really currently is recognition and self-assessment rather than federal accountability. It does include science and writing as opposed to just reading, math, and graduation rates in AYP. And we treat English language learners a little bit differently. Their results are included after 3 years of instruction as opposed to the AYP process. And we also measure improvement, achievement versus peers, and it's a little more inclusive of small schools because we combine multiple years of data. So there will be schools that are in a step of improvement in AYP but also receive some recognition through the Achievement Awards, and that is by design. Here's an example of the index matrix. We have, if you notice across the top of the screen, there are 5 outcomes: reading, writing, math, science, and extended graduation rate. Those come across this row here to a simple average. And then we have 4 indicators: the achievement of non-low-income students, the achievement of low-income students, achievement versus peers, and improvement from the previous year. So these top 2 indicators, I think, are self-explanatory. Students are considered low income if they are receiving free and reduced price meals. Achievement versus peers is a little more complex. This is comparing a given school to its demographically similar schools. A 4 means the school is performing right around average with similar schools. Above a 4 is better, below a 4 is a little bit worse. Improvement from the previous year. 4 means the school stayed about the same. Above a 4 means it improved. Below a 4 means it actually lost ground. And then you can see down here at the bottom row there are index scores, which are simple averages of these columns for reading, writing, math, science, extended graduation. And then all of those are averaged to an overall index score here on the bottom right. For this example school, it's 4.68, which falls into the good tier range. So the index numbers are 1 through 7, and there are 5 tiers. New for 2009-2010, we also have an achievement gap matrix that's available to schools, and that is comparing the achievement of Black, Pacific Islander, American Indian, Alaska Native, and Hispanic students to the achievement of white and Asian students. So typically lower performing student groups compared to typically higher performing student groups. In this case, this mirrors AYP in that the outcomes are reading, math, and extended graduation rate. There's also a column for peers and improvement within each of these. These are then averaged on the right-hand side, and the achievement gap, if it's 0 or negative, that means the students of color are actually outperforming the white and Asian student groups. If the number is positive, that means there is a significant achievement gap in that building. The Washington Achievement Awards are our annual recognition. It's co-sponsored by the State Board of Education and OSPI, and the awards are based on the Accountability Index. One of the awards is called Outstanding Overall Achievement. It is the top 5% of elementary middle, high school, and multi-level or comprehensive schools. And we also offer special recognition in language arts, math, science, extended graduation rates, gifted schools in comparison to their peers, meaning there are 10% or more students designated as gifted in a given school. There's an award for closing achievement gaps, and there will be an improvement award this year as well. I'm going to turn to some online resources now to show you where to find some more information about the index. This is the State Board of Education website, which is www.sbe.wa.gov. This is our home page. So if you click on Responsibilities in the left-hand column, and then Recognition, the tab on the top, you'll see some information about the Achievement Index and the Achievement Awards. The first is a lookup tool, which we'll come back to in just a moment, but it's a great way to find information about your building and other buildings in your district. We also have an Achievement Index graphic and an Achievement Awards overview. These are both documents that explain some elements of the award that will be announced February 15th. So we want schools to understand why it is that they've won an award, and these are some details about how the recognition system works. So that's available to you to see, as well as this awards flyer, which explains in a snapshot what the Achievement Award is, what the Achievement Index is, and how it works. And it provides an example on the back of the Achievement Index matrix. Returning to our website, we also have an Achievement Index map. This is a very large file, so we recommend that you right-click and save it on your desktop or some other location on your computer. It is a visual of the index performance for every school in the state. So you can click up here where it says School Districts. Excuse me, let me take you to the instructions page first. These will walk you through how to use this tool. It's fairly self-explanatory. You can either click here on the left-hand side and search for a district, or you can click on School Districts. It takes you to a page that has all of the school districts in the state. Let's click on Bellingham School District, and it will take you immediately to a map of Bellingham School District and each of the buildings within the district, which you can then zoom in on to see more clearly. And at the bottom of every page is a reminder of the tiers and the index ranges. So these little flags are color-coded. Gray means that there isn't an index score for that building, usually because it's very small. And then finally, February 15th, there will be a link to the Achievement Awards announcement itself. So I'm going to turn to the index lookup tool now. This is an Excel spreadsheet. We recommend, again, when you get to that link that you right-click and save it on your computer. The first tab on the bottom here is labeled Instructions, and there's also a table of contents with clickable links. If you want to look up a school, you could click on Look Up School Code. We're going to look up Mercer Middle School, which is one of our case study schools. So this happens to be sorted by district. You can also sort by school if you choose, or you can do find and find a school. So we're looking for this 4-digit school code here, 3095 in this case. And then I'm going to go to the next tab, My School Index, and type in right here in this green box, 3095. And it pre-populates this index with all of the data that we have on the index. You could tell you're in the right district and school by checking here. And I'm going to zoom in a bit to show you some things. This is the 2009-2010 data matrix, similar to what I just showed you in an example. This school is a middle school, so they don't have a graduation rate. This is their 2009-2010 achievement gap data. And then these averages here in this block are what will drive the awards, the achievement awards specifically. So those 2-year averages are included for that purpose. On a second page, you can also see the 2008-2009 data, 2008-2009 achievement gap data, which we've calculated retroactively, and then the third year that we have data, the first year, 2007-2008. If you'd like a different way to look at the same data for the school, click on the Trend Data tab, and you can see data over time. We have the 2008 column, 2009 column, and 2010. So you can see that the school overall has gone from good to exemplary to very good. And you can also look at different outcomes. So there's a reading outcome, writing, math, and science. So you can see in this particular school they have jumped up significantly within the last 3 years on math and science. And they also have a small achievement gap. This tab down here is a tab for the rating system that explains in depth how the achievement versus peers calculation is done, as well as the improvement. I won't go into the learning index now, but we have resources on our website to explain exactly where that calculation comes from. If you like spreadsheets and lots of data, you can look at all of the data that we have available here on these tabs below. This one happens to be the 2009-2010 school year, so you can see every school in the state that has data. Where the cells say too few, that means there were fewer than 10 students, so that information is suppressed. So this is a wealth of information for you. We also have all the achievement gap data and the index data going back as far as we have it. So I want to just talk through a couple of examples of how the index is being used. Renton in particular is using it for recognition and celebration. So they've set up their own achievement criteria in areas that they want to promote, and they're having district level celebrations beyond just the state level achievement award. Highline is a great example of providing differentiated support from the district. So for example, they are looking at achievement and peers ratings and trying to decide what level of support the district should provide based on the relative performance of schools. ESD 113 has pioneered a process of including index data in the way they make decisions about providing support to schools. And then Tahoma is an example of tying building level improvement plans to index data. So they have a graphic where they look at the data and actually come up with specific building improvement plans based on that data. And if you have examples from your district or school of how you're using the data, I would love to collect those and share those as best practices. If you have any questions, please visit our website and see the resources that we have, or you can contact me, and my contact information is here. Thank you very much.